Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome to Hallyujuku. Hold up, wait a minute. Kaz got to put some stank on it. We're here talk about East Asian pop culture as we gather ourselves and figure ourselves out. We're here. We're less sick than last time. Mathematically,
I don't know.
At least
I had to grab a box of tissues earlier today, so I don't know how less sick I am. But no, we're here. Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty great. Got some hip hop to talk about finally.
Yeah.
Been waiting for some new hip hop, and found out the internet tried to hide it from me. You bitches. I found it though.
You can't hide it from Kaz forever. You can't hide the hip hop from Kaz forever.
Yeah.
Though you may try. But we're here to talk about East Asian pop culture as we do every week. We're gathered. We're going to talk about some stuff. Of course, as we do every episode, we start off talking about what's new, what's caught our attention this week. Kaz, what's caught your attention this week?
So I've been waiting for this for a little while, and it's a new Rain track. I'm going to just go out. I'm not going to do this long fucking intro like I normally do. So it's a new Rain track. This has been kind of... Hold on, I'm a little tight. There's all kind of shit going on. All right. We've been talking about this new Rain track coming out for a while now. And we finally... it finally dropped. So it's called The Best Present, produced by Psy. And it's a really good song. I like it. I enjoy it. It's very R&B, very soul feel. Yeah. Not what I was expecting. I thought it was going to kind of be a little bit more upbeat from the way people were talking about it, but it's a really good song, and it's just Rain doing Rain things.
Yeah, especially with the dances. Like, it's a super like chill, mellow track, but he still like fucking puts on his baby making music dance moves. You know, it's like his R&B like hardcore dance moves throughout, and it's fun. It's it's that smooth ballad. It's like that smooth, cool guy ballad style track where he's still gonna fucking like put some moves on you and lay it down with the vocals and the dancing. The only disappointment is I'd expected more Psy, but I guess he's just he was just behind the board, just laying down. Yeah,
because a lot of the presentations are like that new Rain song featuring Psy, like that's how everybody kept presenting it. So I was like, man, that's gonna be really interesting. I wonder how that's gonna work out. How's that gonna come together? But then you find out it was just produced by him. So you're like, oh, why'd you hype it up so much, you motherfuckers? But it's still good, though. It's still so good.
Yeah, it's so cool. Like it's has good cool factor, which I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cool track. There's not much more you can say about it. It's just a cool track.
It's so fucking smooth. It's so well done. It is very well produced too. So if we want to give some credit to Psy, it is so well produced. The beat is just so well done. I really enjoyed this, and I want everybody to go check it out. So, Rain, Best Present.
Mm-hmm.
Check that shit out.
Yeah. All right, now we get into hip hop.
Yeah, so now we get into hip hop. There are a bunch of hip hop tracks that have been released over the past few months that I kind of missed out on just because they haven't really gotten the traction that I think people have been wanting it from it. Like a lot of the idol hip hop has been getting that raise, so kind of the underground hip hop stuff has been not falling by the wayside. It just hasn't been getting the views in places that it normally would. So you got to kind of go dig for it a little bit. So this is a track I think I remember PD telling me about was in the making.
Or I think
and then we kind of skipped over it.
Out. Yeah.
And we just kind of skipped over it, but I wanted to go back and talk about it. So it's Jesse, Microdot, Dumbfounded, and Lyrics. It's called KBB.
Or Kaibibo.
So good.
Kaibibo.
So good. I didn't think it was going to be that great having Jesse on there, but I always forget. with good direction, she does well.
She made a good sample.
Yeah.
Which I love the beginning is like, they're like trying to get her in the studio. It's like, yo, you're going to be a sample. It's like, shut the fuck up. You a sample. It's like, all right. Which is I almost kind of gives you a great glimpse into what it's like to hang out with Jessie when she's on a real tip. It's like, oh, Jersey. You can't get the Jersey. You can take the girl out of Jersey. But yeah. Killer stuff, especially from Dumbfounded.
It's so killer, dude. Like, it was one of those tracks. It's featuring a couple of different rappers, but it flows together so well, even though they all kind of have different styles. It melds together really well. I love these kind of like cypherish style songs that are put together. Like, this is a very put together thing, but it has that kind of cypher style to it, and it's just so good. It's so good. I love when people get on tracks together and don't try to match. They just do what their thing is that they do, and it just kind of stands on its own. And you kind of have these three individual things that are put together to make one great thing. Yeah. So I really like Microdot. I like Dumbfounded a lot. And lyrics was so good on this too as well. Yeah. So definitely worth checking it out.
Yeah. I like all of these guys. I go back and forth sometimes on Microdot, but he did fine on this one. Like Microdot has some like moments.
Yeah, yeah. Where you're not like, super sure about it. Yeah. No, I feel the same way.
But like he did pretty good on this track. I'm okay with it. Yeah.
All right, so last for me this week is a song by Palo Alto. He has a couple of songs out that we just kind of has fallen by the wayside. They just haven't been in our radar. So I wanted to feature this one because this one was like kind of the better of the 3 or 2 that I found. For me, the other 2 are still really good, but I really liked this one. I liked the video. I liked the song. I liked everything about it. It's called Victories by the boy Palo Alto. Just such a really good beat, fun fucking vibe. Like such a chill fucking track, and it has some kind of upbeat moments in it as well, but it's such a chill fucking track, dude. Like holy shit.
Yeah, it has a really cool moment. There's a random appearance by G2 and a couple other people, one of the other dudes from his crew. But like it's cool. It's like has its like random moments where it kind of switches things up, but yeah, it's a cool chill Palo Alto track.
Like, I don't know, it goes into some really great places for me. It reminds me of some of the stuff that I really, really love from Benzino, like, that I love in Palo Alto as well. Like, just, like, so chill and mellow, like, for no fuck reason, like.
Yeah.
But can go off if they really need to.
Yeah. It's really cool.
What I love about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely more stuff this week just to go check out.
More stuff, more good hip-hop. Go check it out. There's some cool tracks to check out. I've got just like new tracks. I'm bringing the K-pop as I deal with my mucus. Sorry about that. Putting on the show. Certainly not going to edit it out. Bringing the K-pop this week with some new releases. One in particular, a debut, a re-debut, and a reboot. So it's gonna be it's an interesting set in my collection. One of them is a solo debut, solo, if you will. Sahyun, my girls in Girls' Generation, finally debuting with the track "Don't Say No." I enjoyed this track. I think it's not perfect. I think there's some. I think the instrumental probably could be quite a bit better and could serve better purpose for solo for Sahyun here in this track. But Sahyun herself proves that she can hang on her own as a solo artist on this track, and she performs really well, and I like it. It's poppy. It's kind of like has this like sass to it, which I like. Has a little bit of like a sass and a little bit of kind of like being a vehicle for her little bit of belting and a little bit of like kind of her vocal showcase, which is really cool. It ended up really good, really really interesting, and I ended up liking it. What do you think?
I feel the same way. Like it's a very good like introductory solo track. Like it kind of there's a bit of verbal gymnastics in there, but it's kind of just clean overall, and just really 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 cool. A really interesting art style in the video as well, like that kind of drags you in. Like I'm loving this new like use of color. Like we're not using the super bright shitty colors in K-pop anymore. Yeah. They're kind of these muted matte colors that are still bright, but they're not like, I don't know how to describe them, right? They're just not like super bright and offensive to my eyes. They're just like
they pop.
They have a good tone and like, they pop in a really nice way that's not without being saturated and overpowering, right? So and it's kind of just been a trend that's going forward, and it's used really well in here. And the song is just so the song is really good. It's not the greatest thing ever, but it's a good like little introductory solo track, and it kind of shows her off in a really good way. Because you'll have a few people that won't know who she is, and you'll have a few people that'll only check her out because she used to be in Girls' Generation. So let's see what's up.
We'll see. Yeah, and I think this is a good showcase track, and I'm glad for it. She looks great. The video's cool. And it's definitely worth checking out. Sehyeon going solo, little maknae, all grown up and shit. 10-year veteran and shit. It's crazy. The Girls' Generation has been around for 10 years. Going on to this next track, which is an interesting like collaboration that happened under Mystic Entertainment, which I know these girls are under, but by producer Park Geun-tae. We had Luna of FX, Hani of EXID, and Sola of Mamamoo with a track called Honeybee. I will say, this is a good track. There's definitely a goal in mind. This is definitely trying to be K-pop's Bang Bang. Like this is very much trying to be that style of that track. I forget who did that track. It was like, is it Ariana Grande that does Bang Bang, or who does it? I don't fucking know. I don't know Western pop music. Fuck that.
I do remember off the top of my head.
I think Nicki Minaj is on it. That's all I remember. But it's definitely that song, and at least touching upon that style. I think it's good. It's really good. The girls are great. They service the song well. I think the only thing that it lacks is it just lacks a certain like climax moment.
Yeah, there's like no climax. Like just like you're saying how you're comparing it to that other song. There's no just that straight up rap part that kind of hypes it up a little bit, like this kind of uptone bravado that like carries it up. It's kind of the hook is supposed to be doing that here, but it doesn't carry through because they're all just kind of singers,
Yeah, I think there's
but I still think it works in really good ways.
Yeah, but I think exactly. It overall it still works, and it's still a fun song. And I love all these girls. Like I love FX, I love Mamamoo, and I love EXID. And these girls these ladies are fantastic on this track. And it works well. I think there was word that originally it was going to be Solji rather than Hani on this track. So I don't know how that affected, because this is definitely a different register for Hani, but she's used to it because she doesn't usually sing in her own register anyways. I think overall the song is cool, and the visuals of the video are fun for being a very simple video, just kind of like shot in a bowling alley. If you have anxiety over slipping on bowling lanes, this might give you PTSD, because they're dancing on the bowling lanes. You're thinking like, I think somebody on Reddit said like, I've stepped like 2 inches onto a bowling lane bit and ate shit. This gave me PTSD. It was like seeing them stand on there on heels, which is kind of hilarious. But overall, the visuals are fun and they look great. And fucking Hani has some abs, going midriff bearing, which is gutsy and fantastic. Yeah, overall cool track. Worth existing. I'm glad it happened. A nice confluence of girl groups that I love. Moving on to the next track. This is an interesting kind of re-debut of a group under Happy Face Entertainment that had already debuted, previously known as Minx. They added a couple of girls. I'm going to assume there were a couple of girls that they had originally sent to Produce 101 because that's what's happening to all the girl groups. So I'm just going to assume that that's what happened. They decided to re-debut Minx as Dreamcatcher, and people were curious about what they were going to do with them. And we saw the teasers for this track, and they were extra curious. And then it came out, and I think it was worth re-debuting the group. They decided to just go full on J-rock, a J-pop track with this, and if for nothing else, you can say that at least it's ambitious, and overall, I think it's actually really well made. I actually kind of like this track. It's cool. It's exciting. It has a cool feel to it. Has a cool energy to it. It's definitely reminds you of so many different anime themes, but I think it works well. I don't know. What do you think, Kaz?
It's really interesting, but I don't know. With having like Bandmade and like kind of some of these other groups, I don't know. It's still like a little bit too poppy, but I don't know. I still like it and I still think it's good, but it does kind of have a feel of being a little bit too poppy with that mix of like kind of rocky music.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I still enjoy it.
Yeah, I think it's more like more closer to like what you expect with a lot of J-pop influences, where there is still that rock like instrumental with a pop sensibility, and I think it overall works well. I think this is it's at the very least trying something different rather than just re-debuting a cutesy girl group or trying something like, re-debuting, like trying to be another girl group or trying to do the same thing. At least trying something different, seeing if it works out. And if it doesn't work out, you go back to the drawing board and see how you can readjust from there. But if it does work out, you kind of at least be at least in K-pop, the one dream catcher rather than being the 13th G friend, so there's a value to that. If being the one dream catcher means nobody cares about you, so be it. That's the risk, but it's at least you can say you can corner something. So I think it's cool. It's interesting. I'm glad for it. Speaking of imitating other girl groups, so Cube Entertainment, it's only girl group at this point. As far as I know, I think I don't think they have anything up on the docket. CLC has been taken under the wing of Hyuna and her musical direction. And this is actually true, that she's actually been deeply involved in the creation of this whole concept, and have re-debuted with a new concept, quote unquote new concept, with their track Dokepi, or Hobgoblin.
You just mean they're now for a minute?
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to. Hyuna basically turned them into her 4-minute clones. So she said, you know what, those other bitches didn't want to play my puppets anymore. I got these other new bitches to be my puppets now. That being said, it's not a bad track. Like
no, it's not.
It may be a 4-minute track, but you know what? It's not like 4 minute around, so somebody's got to give us 4-minute tracks. You know, if it has to be CLC, so be it. I think the concept is fun. I'm always for fierce girl groups. I'm always for the attitude and the sass.
I mean, like it's so 4 minute. It's just so weird, like even in the comments, like I kind of scrolled through them earlier, and so many people are just like you have the people who are like, stop comparing them to 4 minute, like that's so rude. But then you have the people in here who are just like, bitch, they're under Hyuna. They sound like Hyuna. They look like what the last few iterations of 4 minutes was like. And Hyuna is in charge. Like, it's fucking 4 minute, basically. Yeah. Like, and that's what it is. And like, that's not it's not a bad thing to be compared to. Like, 4 minute was good. Yeah,
they were legends, and
like
and they were.
I love 4 minute.
Yeah, we love 4 minute around here, and I think it's very interesting and cool to see, and I don't mind it at all. I think if they feel like this is the right idea for them, then we'll see what happens. I think we'll have to see how they fit in with the concept, but I think it's not like, here's the thing, it's not like CLC where like setting the world on fire on their own with their own concept. So it's like, they needed something. They needed something to be different and to gain some traction. And Cube needs CLC to gain some traction because, I mean, what does Cube have? I mean, as a company, they have Hyuna. They have B2B. And they have Pentagon, which is still, I think, still trying to gain traction. Though they're really good. So they need CLC to gain some momentum. I mean, badly. 4 minutes gone. They don't have Beast anymore. So it's gonna have to be something where this is a smart idea for what for CLC doing something, and it works well, and we get more 4 minute. Yeah.
You have to make the comparisons to 4 minute right now because that's what it so closely shows. Once they start to grow into this style, and once they kind of start to get their own little swag, then it'll become something of its own. Just like the same thing with Blackpink. Everybody's going to compare Blackpink to 2NE1 because that's what
YG
internally I bet you that's what the fuck they said. They're like, all right, this is kind of like there's no way that nobody
YG said like blatantly in an interview that they're the new 21.
Yeah, so it's one of these things that happen, right? And as Blackpink grows, which they are growing pretty fast, and they're starting to show their own personality a lot more, they will be known only as Blackpink. But for that first little while, they're going to be known as, oh yeah, that group that's like 2NE1. Like, and CLC, for if this is the image that they're going to go with, and this is the image that's going to gain them popularity, it's because everybody's going to miss that 4 minute sound. And if this sounds similar to 4 minute for a little while, and it helps them gain that popularity, and then they can do something else. Because look, we're all tired of the K-pop, J-pop thing, of the super cutesy thing. Like, let's do the chic thing. Let's do the hip hop thing. That's what's popular. That's what we all like right now. That's what's interesting. But yes, it's going to be compared to 4 minute because when 4 minute came out, that was the dominant style. So that's what they went with. That's what made them popular. Yeah. Like, it's fine. We're in this transition and it's going to be great. And you just got to stick it out for a couple seconds. I know you want to give the groups their respect, then that's fine. We want to give them their respect too. But you got to understand, man. You gotta, you know how you get your friend that liked 4 minute to listen to CLC is go like, yo, like this new CLC track, it's kind of like 4 minutes late, and they're like, all right, I'll check it out. And you're like, you know what? It does remind me of 4 Minute. I think these chicks are cool. I'll listen out for their stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what's not going to get your friend to listen to CLC? They're nothing like 4 Minute. They have their own. When you fucking, I don't know. I think I'm going to just go listen to my 4 Minute albums.
Yeah. It's like,
it happens. Yeah. You got to give people something you got to kind of give them a taste of what they know and what they like. And then you change it on them little by little.
Yeah. So good luck to CLC and good luck to Cube.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens going forward.
Because all you motherfuckers that like Big Bang, go listen to some of those early Big Bang tracks and tell me you still like them. You fucking pieces of shit.
Yeah. But yeah, now that's all for what's new. Now we're gonna transition over to our headlines. So join us.
Oh shit.
There you go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our headline segment. We talk about some topical topics and things going on in the world of East Asian pop culture. Let's start this little journey right now. As things go in my nose, as we start off, exciting stuff. We can finally get a couple of things lining up for South by Southwest. Everything's a little slow going just because shit be cray in Korea, and especially with how much of it all was involving the Korean government, and let's just say shit cray in the government right now. But we did get some news recently. Sisters Hyorin confirmed to perform at South by Southwest 2017 in Austin. Looks like Hyorin will be headed to Texas this spring. Sister Leader has been added to South by Southwest official artist page. This is being reported by Moonrock because they noticed that Hyorin was in fact on the list of showcasing artists. And this is cool. So this is the first like official main K-pop artist. This is the first sign of maybe finalizing the lineup for possibly things like K-pop Night Out. Hopefully getting some updates. So Kaz, what are your thoughts on Hyorin on her own kind of being the showcase artist for K-pop, as I imagine?
It'd be interesting, and she's has some pretty good solo songs, but I don't know. I'm just thinking because like the K-pop Night Out part, that whole thing just sits in a really weird space, and I think you could get a couple of these individuals and groups to come out and do some pretty good stuff still. Like I'm pretty sure you will still get some of the hip hop that comes and then stuff like that. But it does sit in a really weird space. But I think I think she can be a good representation of like Korean music and I don't know. I'm fine with it. Like, yeah, we could name 8 other people that would probably have more impact for the representation of Korean music than her alone would. But I think you have to make those first baby steps.
Yeah.
And this is a really big first baby step. Like, because she has some really good banging tracks that I think can pull people in.
Yeah. So let's look at some of the artists that are from Korea, and we'll see some of the artists that are listed from Japan and another Asian country that's pretty well represented, which we'll talk about in a moment. But first, Korea. We can just search. We got Big Phony, who's a singer-songwriter, dude kind of making really cool styles. We've got Galaxy Express, cool rock band out of Seoul, cool rock style.
Megan
got
Lee.
Glenn Check, which is a really cool band, very prominent, very well respected indie band. Speaking of Glenn Check, they actually did a remix for a Sistar track that was on like the official Sistar repackage a couple years ago. For I think they did the Touch My Body remix, which is really cool, and it was actually a really cool track. Their remix of it. We have Hyorin. We also have Luna Lee, another rock artist. She's kind of cool. She's a rock artist that uses the Gaia Goom, which is really cool. She's been playing it since the age of 11. So she does like really cool traditional mix styles with rock music. She does like her she created I love this. She invented many new playing techniques and also led an effort to create the world's first truly workable electric Gaia Goom, thus opening up her musical palette even wider. So that's really dope. So she's a really cool, innovative artist, bringing a traditional, very Korean style, but modernizing, which is cool. That should be an interesting showcase. Neon Bunny, which is big time, prominent indie artist, electronic artist, had a great album last year. I think it has a new track that she just came out with. I think on her like SoundCloud or something. It was worth checking out. But I might be able to check out Neon Bunny this year because I know she was there last year, but I didn't get to check her out. We have Windy City, who's a reggae group. Very interesting kind of reggae Korean roots music. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they showcase. And Triple X, hip hop artist, hip hop duo. So hip hop electronic duo. So that's gonna be an interesting showcase. So there's a nice mix of styles from Korea. Mm-hmm. So which are probably going to be like involved in either or the K-pop night out or in the indie Korean night. So which makes for some nice lineups. Anybody that sticks out to you?
Not much. Like I'm looking through both of these lists. I'm looking through Japan and Korea. It's a lot of indie bands, a lot of singer-songwriters that are going to be showcasing so far. And, you know, a lot of them who are kind of working songwriters in the industry right now, but still have kind of career intentions of their own. Yeah. But I don't know. It's a lot of good stuff. A lot of stuff that I think will be interesting. And I can't wait to kind of see some of these performances because that's kind of it's a great showcase of things that you may not hear because it's easier to get these kind of smaller individuals to come show off who they are because they're not. And I don't mean this in a bad way. They're not like working individuals. They're not promoting individuals. It's probably a better word for it instead of saying they're not working because they are working. It's just they're not in the middle of promotions. They're not.
They're a little bit more portable just because they don't have big teams that they need to transport. You know, they're just gonna bring their gear and themselves, and they're ready to go. Which makes it a lot easier for them to showcase. And Japan has some cool artists and Analogics out of Fukuoka, Chai out of Nagoya, DJ RS out of Tokyo, The Finn, which I believe I've seen before, or maybe not. I'm not sure. Hanato Chiduran. We've got not the Japanese wallpaper. Otoboke Biva, nice little punk band. Satellite Young out of Tokyo. Tokyo Chaotic out of Tokyo, or should I say Tokyo Chaotic. And the Walkings out of Tokyo. So Japan Night is always a great staple, and I imagine quite a few of these artists are lined up for Japan Night, so that should be a fun night of, because Japan Night is just a beautiful little night of craziness because it's truly independent. and it's really cool. I think I will say the other country that has a nice showing is Taiwan. Taiwan has 6 artists of their own showcasing throughout the night. They got DJ Ray Ray. We got Hello Nico. Taiwan, Jade Eyes, electronic group. Matsuka, Taitung, Taiwan. Sunset Roller Coaster. Ying Hung Lee, aka DJ Didalong. So some cool Taiwanese artists as well, which is really cool. So yeah, South by Southwest. I'm gonna have more from South by Southwest. I already got my plane ticket. I've already got my plans. I will have updates. I'm thinking I might do a video on what is the experience of going to South by Southwest and attending one of these showcases when you don't have a badge, for people that might be curious, because I know there's a lot of people that don't know how it works and are completely looking around wondering, and the information isn't all there or all easy to find. So I might do a little video, especially for a lot of people that want to go for K-pop night out, especially as more artists get finalized for that. So I might do a thing for that. So look out for that.
Yeah.
Moving on. So Unnies Slam Dunk was a show that I enjoyed. And I enjoyed the cast of. Had a little bit of controversy, mainly because of Tiffany's poor use of Snapchat filters. But it was cool because it was it was all female variety show. And it worked well, and the cast was good. And they wrapped up season 1, and then we got hints on there being a season 2, and we kept getting hints on there being a revamp for season 2, but now we're getting some confirmation here. The headline: Somi and Minzy confirmed for season 2 of Unnies Slam Dunk. After announcing last week that former 21 member Minzy was into consideration to join the cast of Unnies Slam Dunk, it has just been confirmed that both she and IOI member Somi, who's hilarious, will both be joining the cast for season 2. A representative from the program told the media today it has been confirmed that the members of season 2 will be Kim Suk, who's fantastic, Jong Jin Kyung, Kang Ye Won, who I believe is announcer lady, Han Chae Young, Hong Jin Young, getting a little trot on, Gong Minzy, and John Somi. The KBS2 TV program became popular last year as a cast of comedians prepared to make their girl group debut with Shut Up, which is one of the projects. So season 1 the idea was that it was fulfilling the dreams of each of the members, almost like doing different projects for each of the members. It's almost like a shorter term version of what Infinite Challenge does with all of its projects. And one of the ones, the one that was popular, was the girl group project that Min Hyorin started off with her dream. So season 2, I guess they decided, well, out of all those things, the girl group thing worked for last year. So let's just do the whole season of the girl group thing. And that's what they're going to do with this season. What is your impression looking at the inclusion of these 2 members and the cast?
Well, see, I don't really have much of an impression because I never checked it out. I remember we talked about the songs when they came out. But this is definitely an interesting concept, and I don't know. It could be interesting just going forward, to have these 2 individuals there, because Minzy has a really cool personality that has been shown before. If you've seen any of the 2NE1 stuff, and
I've been
it's something that
on IOI stuff, just barely, but it's based on the personalities, and they're hilarious.
It does make it interesting, and it makes me want to see it. And I've been trying to get back into watching Korean inspired TV stuff. I've been trying to get back to watching fucking 2 Days, 1 Night and stuff like that. So a new variety show that, I can legit start from the beginning with, it seems like really cool. And I like this idea of an all female cast. So I gotta check this show out before I really give my opinions, and I want to see what it is.
Yeah. Check out season 1.
I'm definitely gonna check out season 1. I'm not gonna wait for season 2 and then start there. I'm check out season 1, and this is hopeful. I've been wanting Minzy to kind of have a project, and this is really a really cool thing, I think, for her.
Yeah. So it's good. It's something to look forward to for Minzy at the very least. You know, we've got some things going forward. You know, we got that new 21 goodbye track, though. You know, Minzy did express disappointment in finding out. Minzy found out about the new track the same way we all found out, which is kind of I don't know. I know she's not under contract. I know she's, you know, they don't legally owe her anything, but it still kind of did her wrong for her to find out, like, from other people, from the world and from articles rather than straight from YG. I don't know. It is kind of a bummer that they did her wrong. You know what? Let's just end it with saying YG did Minzy wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They did her wrong.
Yeah.
Good luck to Minzy. We love her. She's one of the best. Yeah. I think one more article. I love this. Kris is now saving Burberry from a slump. Gets called EXO's former frontman, quote unquote. Naming Kris their brand ambassador has apparently paid off in spades for Burberry. Burberry is expected to unveil a welcome return to sales growth this week, buoyed by a surge in the Chinese shoppers on the back of its collaboration campaign with Popstar, I should say. I accidentally said K-pop star with pop star Kris Wu. The British fashion house is one of the most exposed brands to the slowdown in Chinese luxury spending following a rampant expansion of its shop. That means the region now accounts for a quarter of Burberry's sales. However, the retailer has taken action to address the sales slump by naming Wu, who was the front man for South Korean Chinese supergroup EXO, as its brand ambassador. A separate clothing collaboration with Wu has also spurred demand across Asia. Quote, Wu, who was the front man for South Korean Chinese supergroup EXO. Yeah. That's funny. Also, it's kind of cool to see Kris basically saving brands left and right. He's also got that movie Triple X is coming out. He's in that. He's right up there with Vin Diesel and Ice Cube. Big time action star. This is cool to see Kris basically like killing it, and like basically leaving EXO in the dust way behind him.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
Kris is kind of Kris is kind of the new Jay Park in a sense. Like, not that Jay Park really left. For those who don't remember, it's PM under any like bad intent. But it's still always interesting to see people be able to be more popular than they were under their kind of group standings. Yeah. You know, in a certain sense, some people can grow in that field of other people, and then some people need that to boost their confidence and then sprout up. And I think that's what Jay Park needed. That's what Kris needed. And now it's making them globally aware. People are becoming more globally aware of who they are after those things than rather when they were doing those things. Yeah. Like 2PM was still really popular when Jay Park was in it.
Yeah.
But as he's grown out of it, I would say he's probably at this point in that global mindset, like he's probably more popular than 2PM is, and I feel like Kris is hitting that same peak in his career now, where people know who XO are, and there are going to be people who can link Kris to XO, but for everybody else, he's this really great model, singer, songwriter, kind of person that came out of nowhere.
It makes you realize it's one of those things that gives you perspective and makes you realize that this is probably what Henry is grumbling about. Because I think there's so much potential for those artists that have a connection to China, that it's such a big market with so many opportunities that when it feels like like you're like, oh, it's a free agency market. Oh, I could be making so much money out there if I wasn't stuck, here. And you can kind of definitely understand where maybe Henry's coming from and why these artists are so eager to break free, and why they need to why they after losing Ludacris, why they've been kind of bending over backwards to let Lay do his thing, whatever it is. It's like, because at that point it's like, all right, I mean the horses done run away, and we got to close this barn at this point. We still got some horses left, so we gotta do what we can to keep them corralled, and it involves a little bit more freedom. And they need to realize that money that can be made can be theirs as well. They could be making that money alongside that person, instead of holding them back to get a bigger share of a much smaller piece of money. Yeah, you get a smaller share, but it's so much more money that you're still making more money. People, it's the math.
I don't know. It's an interesting thing that I think is going to hopefully, things like this are going to hopefully make K-pop more aware of itself. Yeah.
Well, you'd like to think, hopefully.
Yeah.
But then again, let's not get our hopes up.
Me.
It's still K-pop. So, I think, that's it.
Yeah.
For another fantastic episode of Hallyujuku. A tight one. Nice tight episode.
Yeah. I like that.
Tight. Compact. Kaz, what do you got going on in your
there's not much. Constantly, hopefully, be checking out DKG Whelp and Sports Odds and Ends, the two other podcasts that I'm trying to very hardcore push, because they are really good shows that I think people should be listening to, and I would hopefully like to get more people to start listening to them. Just more things coming in the future, trying to tighten things up just in general. New year, new me, not really. But yeah, so been having fun. Trying to put out more content and do more stuff, be more self-aware of who I am and where I am in my career. So I don't know. I'm just trying to have fun and keep stuff going.
Yeah, keeping stuff going with the podcast. SportsOddsAndEnds.com. I'm trying to load it up. It's taking forever. Doing the thing. He's King Kaz.
Nice.
I'm PD Rave. The show is Hallyujuku. That's Hallyujuku.com. KPopPodcast.com. Rebelli.net for this and other shows. Rebelli TV on YouTube, on Twitch. Do the things. Check us out all over the place.
Well, didn't I tell you? Don't you know?
Subscribe to us on iTunes, on Stitcher, all over the place where you can find podcasts. Until next time, hasta los huevos. Fighting.
Give it to me straight, Doctor. Give it to me straight, Doctor. Why, I think you're crazy.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.